Sarah, I'm back. So I'm back with you today with what I'm going to call the June reading list. So here is why I'm calling it the June reading list, because it's June 12th. And I didn't do a video yet with my TBR. I did post it on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen what I'm reading and get a sense of kind of what I'm gonna get into this month. But listen, I've already started reading those and I've read some others. And so I wanted to hop on here, kind of do a reading list / reading progress video. So we can kind of have that conversation for June. Because there's actually some new releases I'm really excited about. Yay! So I wanted to share. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the first book I'm going to talk about on the reading list is Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver. And I got this on Audible. I actually pre-ordered this using one of my copious Audible credits, you guys. I don't know how I accrued. I think I've got 11 credits now. And if you change your plan, you don't get your credits if you change your plan. So, Amazon, please don't do that anymore because it's my money. Anyway, so I basically have to like download a bunch of books before I can change my plan, which I plan to do. And I just haven't done it yet. So anyway, that's a long way of saying I'm going to listen to Leather and Lark this month. I've started it. I'm liking it so far. This one's gotten some kind of mixed reviews. You know what? I think it's all in comparison to Butcher and Blackbird, and it's hard not to do that, but I don't really think you should. So I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to go into it just trusting my gut and listening to the story and kind of sharing with you my thoughts and feelings about that. Okay, so then I have on my list, I have False Start by Kandi Steiner. I've actually finished that story. This story is, I didn't talk about Leather and Lark, what it's about. Let's go back. Okay, so Leather and Lark. So Lark is a heiress she's an heiress singer-songwriter, and she's the best friend, Sloane, from Butcher and Blackbird. So we met her already. And Lachlan is one of the Kane brothers. So Lachlan Kane, he has a leather work shop, and he also is a contract. He's like an assassin. I think Lark, her family gets up to some shady stuff too. So I think that she's got a role in that. It's not super clear yet in the story, so I don't want to kind of spoil anything. But they meet like a year prior to when the story kind of really takes place on a botched cleanup job. So Lachlan is brought in to clean up a killing that goes wrong that Lark committed. So she's got her rationale for killing this person. Lachlan's brought in to clean it up, and he botches it for some reason, and it causes a problem for his employer. So they don't like recognize each other when this is all happening because it's Halloween and they're like dressed up. So obscuring their faces, so they don't recognize each other. But then a year passes, and what is going on with my head? Sorry, something's going on with my light here. I'm going to turn it off and be right back. I need to. That's fine. That makes the room darker. Sorry. So turn off my light and let's get going. So a year passes and they interact, and then stuff unfolds where I think they have to be in like a fake relationship. I think that's the point of the story. So enemies to lovers story, fake relationship. So that's Leather and Lark. Okay, so then let's go to False Start by Kandi Steiner. This story follows Kyle Robbins, who is a tight end. He's a rookie tight end for Seattle. And Madeline James / Hurst is the heroine of the story. So this is a childhood friends to lovers to enemies to lovers story, a second chance romance as well. So Kyle is sent to, he is drafted by the Seattle team, and he shows up there getting ready to get started. He shows up there in the off season, and he is looking to buy a house, and he, puts in an inquiry request for this nice house, and Madeline happens to be the real estate agent for this house. And she, sorry, they like meet to do the showing, immediately recognize each other, just pretend like there's nothing to talk about other than the house, even though they both know that some stuff went down that they haven't talked about and they haven't done it yet. They both kind of hate each other for whatever happened, and we're not sure what happens. But the story unfolds, and we kind of get some clarity as to why they had a falling out however many years ago, and then their story unfolds from there. So I will go into more of that in my wrap up for June, which I will do at the end of June, before July. So that is Fall Start by Candy Steiner. And then we have Craving Chaos by Jill Ramsauer. Now, this story is the first story in the Moretti Malice series. So it's book one of the Moretti Malice series. This book released today, June 12th, and is 306 pages. It is the story of Renzo and Shay. I believe we've met Shay. She's the sister Byrne. So we've had the Byrne brothers. She's the sister Byrne. And it's her story. And then Renzo is the protagonist, so like the hero. They end up being stranded in the Canadian wilderness together. So it's a forced proximity and enemies to lovers story. I am really looking forward to this story based on all the kind of like trope teasers. I think I'm really going to like it. So then we have Little Sunshine by Layla Frost. This is book 2 in the Black Resort series. This book released June 11th, 2024. And this story is Ash and Mila's story. So Mila is a very, very poor 20-year-old person who gets caught pickpocketing in one of the Black Resort's casinos. I believe it was Moonlight is the name of the casino. And Ash is the enforcer to, what is his name? Maximo Black from Little Dove. So this is the follow-up to Little Dove. This is Little Sunshine. So anyway, so Ash is Maximo's kind of second in command / enforcer, So he catches her in the act of pickpocketing, tells her to give it back. She does. And then some stuff happens to her, and she gets a bunch of bad stuff happens to her in her life, and she gets beat up, and she goes back to Moonlight and asks for him, and then their story unfolds from there. So the thing about these books that I think this is gonna be another Daddy Dom Little Girl story, which actually Little Dove was my first foray into that trope. So we'll see how this one's handled. I can kind of tell it's gonna be a little different than which is great than Little Dove. The heroine already is a little bit different than Juliet, and I think that she's had a harder life. Like Juliet in Little Dove definitely had a hard life, but Mila so far, I'm like, girl, that sucks. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm liking it so far, by the way. Okay, just taking a look at my notes here. And then we have Things Left Unsaid by G.A. Mazurk. This is Serena Ackroyd writing as G.A. Mazurk. This releases June 14th. It's book 1 of the Seven Seas Pigeon Creek series. It's 563 pages. God, how many pages is Little Sunshine? God, it's like 500 pages. Little Sunshine, this isn't another 500-page book. Okay. So this story follows Colt and Suzanne McAllister. So let's read the summary of Things Left Unsaid. So this is Colt. I get to the bar 9 and see Suzanne McAllister disappear underwater. My first instinct is to dive in and save her, just like I've saved her 100 times until then. 10 years ago, one tragic night shattered our odd couple friendship beyond repair. I bet you wonder how I got here. My ranch is running out of water. Pop's solution is to arrange a marriage between me and the eldest daughter of our water-rich sworn enemies. You guessed it, Suzanne McAllister. Someone is coming after our families, raking up the troubled history of our small town and forcing me to realize she's always been the love of my life. Now I have to keep her safe by either letting her go when we meet the terms of our arrangement or making her love me back. With so many things left unsaid, who knows what she'll do. So this is my first book uh, in by G.A. Mazurk. I've read other Serena Ackroyd books, but obviously it's going to be a different tone. So I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be good. And then we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, which is book 2 of the Lakefront Billionaires series. This releases June 18th, 2024. I do not have a page count. This story follows Raphael and Ellie. So let's read the summary. Ellie Sinclair is a hopeless romantic who writes love songs. I am a struggling workaholic who could inspire 100 breakup songs. On paper, we have nothing in common except for my son. For 8 months, I avoid her until our summer trip. 14 days, 2 islands, and 1 nanny who I shouldn't be attracted to. Spending time with Ellie is expected, but enjoying her company, this isn't part of our travel plans. After my divorce, I swore to protect my heart at all costs, even if it means breaking hers in the process. Ellie, what's worse than working for a grumpy single dad? Admitting that I once had a secret crush on him in high school. Thankfully, Rafael Lopez and I have changed since we graduated from Wisteria High. He is a billionaire with a company to run and a child to take care of. I'm an unemployed songwriter he hired to watch his son and teach music. We coexist without any issues until a vacation changes everything. Lines blur and old feelings for Raphael return with a vengeance as I face a new dilemma. Being his son's nanny is one thing, but wishing for more sounds like a heartbreak song waiting to be written. So if we know anything from the first book in the series, that Raphael's super, super grumpy. So this is going to be interesting. It sounds like it's a little bit of second chance. Grumpy Sunshine, nanny, single dad. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, then we have Twisted Deeds by Mila Kane. This releases June 26th and is book 3 of the Hellions of Hate Harbor series. This story follows Winter Delory and Asher. God, what is his last name? Asher. It's not Gomez. He's Latino. Okay. So they call her the Ice Queen. Winter Delory, cold by name and by nature. She's always been a spoiled little brat. Daddy's little princess, while I'm the guy from the wrong side of the tracks. She's always made it clear that I'm beneath her. It was hate from first sight. But when she needs help, she can't turn to anyone from her cushy cashmere life. She needs a man who isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. She comes to me. I'll help for a price. I've started to think that while I might hate the Ice Queen, I wouldn't mind dirtying up her innocent princess persona. Even royals can fall, and I plan to ruin this one completely. So here's the thing that I'm really excited about for this book is that in the first 2 books in the series, we met we met Asher in Bad Intentions, and then Winter as well, and we kind of get a little bit more of them in I can't remember the second book. I really liked that one, by the way, and I still can't remember the name of the title. Oops. But I'm excited for their story because Winter seems like a really interesting, prickly personality. So kind of her backstory I'm really excited about. And Asher, I'm excited for as well. I have a feeling, I don't know that he's not going to be Golden Retriever for sure based on this summary, but I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this one because it sounds like it's a brat taming kind of exercise, as well as a little bit of enemies to lovers. So I'm excited about that. Okay, and then we have Love Utley by S.J. Tilley. This is her new release. This is the book 1 of the Love Letter series. This releases June 27th, 2024. This follows Hannah and Maddox. So let's read this book. Okay, let's read the summary. Okay, so Hannah, Maddox Loveless, the captivating football player I met in college. The one I only knew for a week. A week was life-changing. Until my phone rang and I had no choice but to go home. I left Maddox with a letter, putting my feelings on paper, giving him my number, hoping he'd call. But he didn't call. He never called. He got drafted into the professional league and lived like a king while I stayed at home and struggled to stay afloat. I may have followed his career, but now that he's retired from football, I forced myself to stop thinking about him. And it's okay that I won't ever see him again. That week in college was 15 years ago. I'm not in love with Maddox anymore. I might even hate him. Maddox. Hannah Utley. The name that's haunted me since my senior year of college. The girl who caught my attention with her wide eyes and freckled nose. We spent 1 week twisting up my insides until she stole a piece of my heart the night we got locked inside a campus library. The girl who disappeared without a word. It's the name of the girl I've been trying to forget for 15 years. It's the name looking up at me from the resume in my hand because Hannah Utley works for the company I just purchased. That makes her mine, whether she likes it or not. Okay, so listen, I'm getting really excited. First of all, I really enjoy S.J. Tilley's writing. If you've read the Alliance series, you know what I mean. If you haven't, run and go read it. It is awesome. So obviously this is not in that series, so it's not going to be as bonkers, but um, I think she writes really cool back and forth between their characters. And this sounds like there's going to be kind of like miscommunication. These people are obviously older. They're like probably in their late 30s by now. Lost love slash enemies to lovers. It's just going to be miscommunication that causes the enemies part, right? But workplace romance. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so that comes out at the end of the month. And then books that are currently available that I've included on my reading list are The Firefly Effect by K.K. Allen. This released May 24th, 2024, and is 416 pages. This is a single dad, small town mountain romantic suspense. I've already started reading it. It's pretty good. There is a serial killer that is roaming around the Appalachian Mountains, and Evelyn Vaughn has stumbled upon a body in the woods. It's a friend of hers that she knew, and that was when she was like 15 when that happened. So then 14 years later, Evelyn hasn't moved on. She still lives in the neighboring town, and she's been seeing a therapist who moves, and a new therapist comes in, Dr. Reed, and she doesn't know he's going to be replacing her old therapist, and so she starts to see him. And then they do resolve the mystery of the serial killer in the story. So I'm excited about that. I think they do anyway, because it says the Firefly Man, the serial killer, was supposed to be a rumor, a fable, a spooky tale. But Evelyn knows the truth. It's her very own phantom, and he's back. So I'm hoping they resolve it. And then I have The Boy on the Bridge by Sam Mariano. It's 632 pages long. So between what else is super long that I saw? Hold on. The Things Left Unsaid by G.A. Mazurk and Little Sunshine. I have 3 books that are over 500 pages long. The author note about The Boy on the Bridge is that it could have been a duet, but she decided not to do that. So it follows Riley and Hunter. Riley and Hunter meet when they are, I believe they're 14, so they're freshmen in high school. And they're kind of odd friends because he's a popular boy and she's not. And so I've started reading this book. I've gotten, I think, about 15% in, and I do really like it. That's what's that. And then I also have already read Dance, Butterfly Dance and Burn, Butterfly Burn. That is by Reese Rivers. So I will include that in my June wrap up. So those are the books that I'm going to include on this video. I am excited to kind of share more about that in my reading wrap up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the reads this month. They're pretty diverse and pretty interesting so far. So yeah, looking forward to getting into all the details and the nitty gritty and all of my opinions and recommendations. All right, until then, have fun, enjoy your reading, and put in the comments any books you think I should be picking up, any authors that I have not mentioned that you think I should read. And let me know what you're thinking of the video so far. Okay, bye.